90%. That's how often elite footballers score penalties in training. But in a World Cup shootout, that number falls off a cliff. Same players, same ball, same distance, same goal. So what changes? Everything that isn't the kick. Here's what this video is actually about. The World Cup 2026 is coming, and at some point, almost certainly, a shootout will end someone's tournament. And when a superstar steps up and misses, people will say he choked, or he's not a big game player, or his country just isn't built for it. But that's not what's happening. There's a real psychology behind why shootouts break people. And once you understand it, you'll never watch one the same way again. We're going to go through the 6 things that actually decide a shootout. And the last one is the one almost nobody talks about, but it might be the most important of all. Let's start with the one that decides the shootout before it even begins. The team that shoots first wins roughly 60% of all shootouts. That's not a small edge. In a 50-50 situation, that's a massive documented advantage, and it's entirely psychological. When you go second, you're always chasing. Every single one of your kickers walks up knowing that if they miss while the other team has scored, it's over. That pressure compounds with every kick. By the 5th or 6th round, the player going second isn't just taking a penalty, they're holding the weight of every miss that could have happened before them. The team going first never feels that. FIFA actually experimented with an ABBA shooting order specifically to fix this imbalance because they recognized it wasn't just bad luck. It was a structural psychological disadvantage built into the format. So the next time you watch a captain win a coin toss before a shootout, understand? That might genuinely be the most important moment of the entire night. But even if you go first, you still have to deal with the walk. That long walk from the center circle to the penalty spot, it looks like nothing. It's maybe 30 seconds. But Geir Jordet, one of the leading researchers in penalty psychology, found that this walk is where shootouts are actually won and lost. You've got 80,000 people in the stadium, hundreds of millions watching at home, cameras in your face, and an enormous amount of time to think. And here's the part that makes it brutal. The higher the expectations on your team, the worse it gets. Jordet's research found that players from heavily favored nations, teams where the public expects them to win, miss more often. Because expectation doesn't just add pressure, it adds the specific fear of public humiliation. The England can't win shootouts thing isn't a curse or a coincidence or some genetic flaw in English footballers. It's the documented psychological weight of an entire nation's hope sitting on one person's shoulders as they walk to a spot on the grass. That's not a small thing. That's a genuinely enormous thing. And now here's what I think is the most underrated dynamic in the whole situation: the goalkeeper. In any other moment of football, the goalkeeper is expected to stop the ball. In a shootout, he's expected to be beaten. That completely flips the pressure. Every save makes him a hero. Every goal is just, well, you can't save them all. That freedom is a weapon. A confident keeper can delay, dance on the line, point to a corner, stare down the taker, say something as they walk past, all with zero downside. The taker has everything to lose. The keeper has everything to gain. It's one of the most asymmetric psychological situations in sport, and the keepers who understand that and lean into it can genuinely swing a shootout before a single ball is struck. Think about Emiliano Martinez at the 2022 World Cup. He didn't just save penalties, he made the whole situation feel like his territory. That's not an accident. So we've got the order, the walk, the keeper. But there's still one more layer underneath all of this that explains why the best players in the world miss. Jordet identified 2 mindsets that players bring to the spot. The first is an approach mindset. I'm going to score. I know where I'm putting it. I'm focused on the ball hitting the net. The second is an avoidance mindset. Please don't let me miss. Just get through this. Don't be the one who costs us. And the cruel, almost poetic finding is this: the avoidance mindset causes the very thing it's trying to avoid. Players in that mode rush to the ball, they tighten up, they make small mechanical errors they'd never make in training. Fear makes you fast, and fast makes you miss. The desperate urge to escape the pressure is exactly what makes the pressure win, which is why routine matters more than almost anything else. The players who consistently score under this kind of pressure aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who have a fixed, practiced routine. The same number of steps back, the same breath, the same moment of stillness before the run-up. That routine isn't just habit. It's a psychological anchor. It gives the conscious mind something to hold on to so the trained, automatic technique can just run. The miss almost always happens when a player has no anchor and starts consciously thinking about the mechanics of the kick. The moment you think about how to kick a ball, you stop being able to kick a ball properly. A routine is a shield against that. So here's where we've landed. A shootout looks like a series of kicks. But what it actually is, a psychological gauntlet where the order of shooting creates unequal pressure from the very first kick, where the walk to the spot amplifies expectation into fear, where the goalkeeper operates with a freedom the taker never has, where the wrong mindset guarantees failure, and where a simple routine might be the most powerful tool any player can carry onto that pitch. The players who miss in 2026 won't be bad at penalties. They'll be losing to the most extreme pressure moment in team sport, often without even knowing why. If you want to go deeper on the psychology of elite performance, how top athletes manage pressure in the biggest moments, there's a video right here that's worth your time. And if this kind of breakdown is what you're into, subscribing means you won't miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below. Which team do you think handles the shootout pressure best heading into 2026? I'm genuinely curious what you think.